On the Sofa with Esther this Sunday, things get soulful and sizzling as she's joined by the dynamic duo Les Femmes Fatales. Nikita and Sakia open up about their powerful musical journey, the rhythm that brought them together, and the love that fuels their sound. Okay, well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to another incredible, well, I know it's going to be incredible because I can feel the vibration of these beautiful ladies on the sofa with Esther. And I'd just like to welcome onto the platform Sakai. That's very exotic.
Thank you. Hey, nice
And
to be here.
and also Nikita.
Hello. Yes.
And combined, they're solo artists in their own right, but they're also combined. They're called Les Femmes
Le
Fatale.
femme fatale.
Fatale.
Fatales.
Hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So today, we're going to have a conversation just about these two beautiful women. About their career, about the journey of their career, and what they're doing now. And also, one of my favorite questions is, what keeps you grounded in this game, or what has kept you grounded? So we're going to open that up. But before we go any further, I'd like to ask individually, who is Sakai in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a coconut shell? Who is Sakai?
Ooh, I kind of like the coconut because the girl is all about the beach. Okay, I'm a beach girl, tropical. um, well, I'm a wife. I'm a mother of five. Um, I am a singer songwriter, live performer, and I am a people lover. And
Mhm.
I love sharing my gift with the world in various facets, um, of art. So I love interior design, and I also love, other fun little things. But music is my love and passion from a little girl.
Okay, well, we're going to crack open that coconut shell a little bit later today. And I'm going to go to Nikita, the sexy Nikita. Who is
Oh.
Nikita in what should we say, Sakai? In a crab shell, in a seashell, in a
Mm.
in a walnut shell.
Ooh,
Ooh.
what was that last one you said? What was that
Walnut,
last one?
walnut.
Walnut. Ooh. Well, I'm all the above. How about that? No, but I am Nikita Germain, and I am a mother, a grandmother of four, singer-songwriter. Um, I just try to stay positive. So I'm a positive person, um, on that now faith journey, you
Mm,
know, and just trusting and believing and moving forward and spreading my love and joy and inspiring other people to do the same.
brilliant, brilliant. So
Yes.
now
Yeah,
let's crack open all of those shells and nuts, shall
yeah,
we?
yeah, yeah.
Get to the bones of things. And so, Sakai, you talked about, all the wonderful things that you are. And what is it about being a singer-songwriter? What is it about music that's so
Mm.
enriching and so nurturing and so powerful and so healing and so transformative and so
Oh my
joyful,
gosh.
Mm.
so joyful?
Woo, you gave me chills over here. It's in me. I think I was born with this gift, and it chose me. And
Mm,
as I was a little girl growing up, listening to music, I remember music touching my soul to the point where I would be in tears as a kid with
mm,
certain, R&B music and gospel music. I grew up in as a gospel in the church singing music, but my mom had an array of albums she would listen to, and as a child I remember listening to some of those things, and it would just like it would touch me in a way. I was like, wow, and not knowing that that wasn't the experience of every child, to be
yes.
affected that way. um, so it's really a part of my spirit, and it has provided so many beautiful things in my life, the gift of music. So I don't know if that answered your question, but it has just, it's taken me around the world and back home.
Nice,
Truly.
nice,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
And Nikita, the same for you, music, because I can feel it from you, ladies. I can feel what music does for you and
Yeah.
singing, and then, songwriting, the gift of songwriting
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
It's almost like you sort of, I don't want to say vomit out, but it's like you do this with everything that's in you, and it
Yeah.
falls down
Come
onto
pouring
it.
out of you.
That's right. So
Yes.
Come
So
pouring
true.
out.
got it.
Yes. For me, as like Sakai, as since I was a kid, I just remember it's always singing, and music has just been a part of my life, and I'm very passionate about it, and it's just it's something I don't want to do nothing but sing, right? And when writing a song, it just comes out of me. Sometimes I don't even be thinking about it. Before I know it, a
Mm.
melody comes to me or words come to me, um, and it's like Sakai says too. I'm so passionate about it. It's emotional. It's just emotional for me, you know. And I'm just an emotional being anyway. So,
Yeah.
I believe music chose me as well. Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
And
Yeah.
songwriting is it's such a,
It's healing.
different, yes, so healing. It's such an art, a different art form, and that gift is like, sometimes you can take that for granted. We have these moments of sometimes that we, as songwriters, sometimes it just pours through. It comes, well, I know where it comes from. It comes through
divine,
me
divine
to be
inspiration.
able to, yeah,
Hmm.
totally
Hmm.
divine. And
Yeah.
sometimes everything comes at once. The music, I hear it, the arrangement, the lyrics, sometimes it happens that way. And then other times it takes a while, to
Yeah.
like put all the puzzle pieces together. But I'm learning that, we talk about like having those moments of where you're just kind of like stuck and you feel like, but those are moments too. Sometimes you just got to wait. You got to
Yes,
get through those moments because it's not time yet.
yes,
Sometimes you just got to, and sometimes you got to write out just write whatever pours out of you. It may not be your best, but sometimes you go through that as an artist as
Hmm.
well. But
It's a
all
start.
of it is,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, all of it is
Hmm.
so relevant, but
Hmm.
boy, when those moments and it comes to you, it's like, oh, that is so divine. Thank you, Lord, because it was just, that it's not you,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
you've allowed yourself to be the vessel for it to flow.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
It's
Exactly.
yes,
interesting because a
yes,
lot of time
Exactly.
when I interview
yeah,
people, they say it's not me. And I said, I know it's God. And some people say the universe. But then I said, well,
yes,
we must also own it for ourselves because
right.
we've allowed ourselves to be that open vehicle and vessel. And there's an
Hmm.
honoring in that with ourselves. Obviously, you're honoring God, but you have to honor yourself as well. Because if you
Yeah.
don't honor yourself, then that beautiful creativity that you've been given, it couldn't reach the magnificence of
Oh,
what it should be if you didn't allow yourself to be open.
Yeah. That
yes,
part.
that's
Yeah,
so. Ooh,
Right. Right.
yes,
It's almost like it
yes.
chose.
Say
It's
it.
almost like it's almost
Say
like
it.
it chose you. You
that's
know.
Yes.
You don't. You know. Like it chose you, and you chose it. And it's like wow. And
Yeah.
you just embrace it.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's
absolutely.
It's
it's beautiful to bring it to life, something
yep.
out of nothing,
Mm-hmm.
to bring it to life and to record it and to perform it and to, so Nikita and I have been so blessed to be able to share this journey together, as sisters, but also, like we write, we like on the road, we would write. When we get off the road, we're in the studio, we're recording. So it's a continuous, and you're continuously learning. You have new
Absolutely.
experiences, you are writing about new things, and you know you're trying to elevate and
Mhm,
get better at it and all those things, so it
mhm,
never stops, the
mhm.
process of growing.
Brilliant,
For me
brilliant.
as a writer, this girl writes, I mean, like, she's a storyteller. um like my husband, they're like really detailed storytellers. I'm a very melodic, um things come to me differently. So
Uh-huh.
it's like you respect the craft, you respect
Yeah,
the gifts that, when we come together, it's just, magic happens,
Yeah.
I would say. So it's interesting to see how, things come to life for individuals,
Mm. And that's going to
Yeah.
now lead me on to the next question, because as a duo, you guys are phenomenal. And I listened to a couple of your tracks, and
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you.
is it enough? And you know why I feel that's so powerful? Because
Mm,
the lyrics are so apt for this time, because there's so much chaos. I mean, there's always chaos, but I
yeah.
believe there's sort of levels of it, and we are going
Yes.
through this real sort
Hmm.
of chaotic
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Not just in the States, because I track what's going on over there, but also in the UK and just globally as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
The real, there's a real thing about revelation. There's a real thing about truth. There's a real thing about um, and in the middle and in the midst of the perceived division or dividing of, there's also the coming together of, bringing back the village unity.
Yeah.
People are seeking community more than ever now.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So
so
true.
your song, Is It Enough? It's one that gives hope. And I
Yes.
thought, isn't it so apt? Because it was released in 2020, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Right. Right in the peak
Yeah.
of the pandemic. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even a planned song. Like it just had it just God. It was God sent. That's what I say.
Hmm.
It just the melody and the words just came to me like that, and it
Mm.
stopped me in my tracks, and I just started writing the first line. And before I know I had a verse and then a chorus, and I called Sakai, and we, collaborated on the song together. We finished the song together, and that's
Hmm.
what we came up with. And it was so heartfelt and, you know,
Yeah.
moving, and I just knew it was nothing
Yes.
but God that put that in my heart, because I wasn't sitting at home thinking of writing a song.
Mm.
It just
Right.
literally came to me like that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then it's so beautiful the way that song came together because
Yeah.
we asked our music community um, to uh, lend their talents to the song. And at that time, we couldn't move. Everybody was stuck at
Home.
home and could not, get out to studios and so forth. But Kevin, my husband, Kevin Darkside Smith, was able to extract all those voices from whatever device that they recorded on, put
Yeah.
wow.
all
And
those
mind
voices
you,
together.
yeah,
And,
mind you,
and
60 people, 60
yeah,
people
so
lent
that
Wow.
was
their voices.
very
They wanted to be a
innovative at
part.
that time.
They wanted to be a part of that. And it turned out so beautiful.
Yeah, so we're
He,
really,
yeah,
really,
Kevin
really
did a
happy.
beautiful job putting it together.
Yeah,
So,
and the video, he did the video too.
yeah.
And we
So
actually won an
yeah.
award for that song and
Hmm.
video. So,
Nice, nice. And isn't it interesting that, for the time that it came out, and y- maybe you might have realized this, but it's quite profound that you reached out to the community in that way at that time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said it was all God sent.
yeah.
It needed to be said. It needed to be heard. And what's so ironic is that it was written before the George Floyd incident. So the lines that I wrote, um, um, uh, when we breathe, that line right there, it's like what? I didn't trip
Mm.
off of it, at that moment, when I wrote it. But then when that happened, it was like so timely. When we know to learn to breathe again,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
what that came out of his mouth. You
Yes.
know, he
Yes.
could,
Yeah.
it was like
Yes.
it just hit me. It's like, oh
Very
my God,
powerful.
it was powerful. No,
Very
that's
powerful. And it's still like you mentioned, Esther, it's very relevant. And
very
we
relevant.
hope that song reaches a lot more people,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
So,
And and now I just want to sort of prize you both apart a little bit to find out about, your former years, as a solo artist in your own right. And
mm-hmm.
you're from Oakland, California, and
Yeah,
you're from San Francisco. Um, and what were your influences growing up? Let's see, Nikita, who
yeah.
influenced you? What was some of the artists who influenced you in your formative years?
Well, growing up, I listened to a lot of Gladys Knight and the Pips. She was my all-time favorite. I learned every song on that Neither One of Us album, singing in front of the mirror, with with anything I could put, hold that was my microphone and just envision myself singing in front of thousands of people. And I listened to Gladys. I listened to the Jackson Five, Stevie Wonder, Al Green. I'm a little kid, but I fell in love with Al Green. But I just loved the sound of his voice. But Gladys was everything. And listen to jazz. My parents played a lot of jazz. So,
Mm,
the Dinah Washington, Ella, Nancy Wilson, you know, that's who I grew up listening to. And so I feel a lot of my technique and sound,
mm.
was influenced by them. For sure. And Miss Dinah Ross, she's so
Oh,
classy,
yes.
I just, I always try to bring the class, into whatever I do. So, yeah, that's those are the people that influence me a lot, and
Brilliant.
then others along the way, of course, the Luthers and I love Rochelle Farrell. Oh my God, that sound. So yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good taste, good taste. And you talk about Diana Ross, I believe she might be coming to the UK this year, but she still has
Oh
that
wow.
phenomenal. She is about glamour. I mean,
Yes,
she always
yes.
shows up. She always
Always.
up.
Yeah, yeah,
And as you're speaking, it just reminds me of, for us as individuals as well, to be the best we can be, not just for ourselves, but for others, because people will be looking up for us. Other little girls are probably looking up
yes,
the way
Yes.
yeah,
we
yeah,
looked up to
right.
those legends. And
Yeah,
then you realize the impact that we can really create.
yeah, yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And to let the youngsters know you can do it too.
Absolutely.
Right.
I believed it. And not only that, because my mother told me you can do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah. And that's,
Outside of that, right?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Brilliant.
that's what I loved it. Loved listening to that. Hmm.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. And Sakai, what about you? Who were some of your influences?
So for me, I was really, really blessed. I grew up with a sister who was formerly of a former member of Graham Central Station, the original Chocolate. So she was definitely a person that I looked up to. She was my stepsister, but I loved going to the concerts, and I would just be like, "Oh my God, I love this! It's amazing." And
Right,
then me
right.
too, being that kid in front of the mirror, I loved Natalie Cole.
Mm.
Natalie Cole was
Oh
my
yeah.
everything. I listened to Minnie Riperton. I listened to Denise Williams.
Oh,
I listened to, oh gosh, all the greats. I love Stevie. And I just like, there were just some of the records that my mom would listen to, some of the older like groups. I love that. Like that sound too, the harmonies of groups and things like that. But Aretha and there were so many Chaka, of course. I
yeah.
played that
Yeah.
Rufus and Chaka
Ooh,
Khan
I know,
album
right?
out when I was a
Right.
kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So there were
Everybody
so
did.
many like,
A
yeah,
rewind.
right? Yeah. And then, gospel too. I grew up singing in the church, and Tremaine Hawkins was a major influence in my life. And she ended up actually being my first tour as a young lady, as a young singer. I auditioned for her. And so that was really exciting. So I had various influence from different genres,
Yeah.
of music. So I just loved it. Like I said, I was that little kid that would be, oh, cannot forget the Commodores.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, right.
Zoom
Yes.
was my favorite song as
Same.
a little girl, and it's still my favorite song. I will put that on my record player today, and it will still make me cry.
Which
It
song is
still
that?
has called Zoom by the Commodores.
Yes.
Called Zoom,
Yeah.
and it still has like it. So I'm still like that little girl, um, to this day. That is just I just have love. They have a lot of influences, and then there are a lot of Whitney and different as we got older, Nikita and I, I'm
Yeah.
sure Nikita too, there were a lot of artists that we
Yep,
appreciate
we
and
did.
loved,
Yeah.
Mariah Carey and,
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
and
For
and
sure.
a lot of artists that we admire, but those were my core. Natalie was everything.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes.
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming together, I mean, as solo artists, as you know, so we looked at those who influenced you, and then you spoke a bit about, being the duo, and then you spoke a little bit about, solo artists in your own right. So then who, and I mean, I know who you perform with, but I just want you to bring it into the conversation in terms of all these wonderful people who you looked up to, who influenced you. Who have you worked with? Because I know Nikita, I've got Whitney Houston, Tevin Campbell, Aretha Franklin, and then
Yeah.
you Curtis Mayfield, Tower of Power,
Yeah.
Quincy, the late Quincy Jones. And
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
you've all it's like I said, it's like going into a speedy shop and you know, I can be a solo artist. I've got, this duo going on, and then I've worked with. And so it's almost like in this beautiful pot puree, you've
Mm.
experienced so many different
Yeah.
things around music
Mm-hmm.
and the celebration of music in your own different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They getting it. Yes, I love this
So
conversation.
true. It's so true. It's so beautiful. Nikita and I have really been blessed to experience a lot of our professional highlights in our career together.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that is just divinely planned. That's how I
Yeah.
could, that's the
Best
best
way to
way I
put it.
could. Yeah. Not only were
Yeah.
we became really great friends, best friends, and along the way, and sisters, but to be able to, we can't leave out, I don't know if you want to talk about it now or later, but Train was a very big part of our career together.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
12 years of our
Yeah.
lives were spent on the road, planes, trains, and automobiles all across the world with
Right.
Train as band members of Train. So to have that was such a blessing for me, to
Yeah.
tour the world with someone that I admire. This girl is she was, now let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Esther. She hired me when I was a kid. She was a youngster herself, but like she was the first person that hired me to be in a club and hired me to do background vocals for her. But she met me when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
you know? And so I wasn't even old enough to get in the club. But, it's like our ties have been like, it's just been a
Yeah.
thread through our
Hmm.
young adult lives and then,
Yeah.
even in now. So it's been beautiful, our
Yeah.
journey
It really has.
together.
It really has. Hmm.
And you can see
Yeah.
that because you're both your energies are both feeding on it of each other, and it's it's just really nice to see. There's an honoring and there's a celebration and
Oh
there's the
yeah.
joy between the both of you.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
so that
Yeah.
you
That's
just
my girl. Yeah.
keep saying that. So there's no way for me to muscle in. So I'll just stay this side of England, right?
No, no, girl. We are girly girls, and we
Yes, we
love
are.
beautiful women who
Mm.
are of the same, mindset. So we can't
Yes.
wait to come over there and meet you. What you talking
Yeah.
about?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, after
Yeah.
this, we've got to
Yeah. We working on it.
Yeah, we would
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah,
love
we would love to introduce ourselves to the world, across the globe, Les Femmes Fatales. Don't forget that name,
Yeah.
Les Femmes
the femme
Fatales.
fatale.
Yes,
It's almost like
yes,
this what did it have had the femme fatale.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Brilliant.
Hmm.
And what's kept you both grounded? I mean, obviously your faith. I'm sensing your
Oh
faith
yeah.
has played
Hmm.
a tremendous role in who you are
Yeah.
and just in what you do. All that divine inspiration and just trusting that. I remember at the beginning I talked about being an open portal for that.
Yeah.
And so but I'm going to still ask because the industry you have to navigate.
Yes, that's so true. So true.
So
Yes.
how have you navigated aside from your faith? What are the values that you have given to yourself? What are those levels that you said, this is it for me, and I'm not going to deviate
Yeah.
from?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for
Um,
me, oh, you want to go first here? What?
oh, it's okay, Kita. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm gonna say family.
Mm,
And it starts with my parents. What they instilled in me, who helped make me who I am today as a woman. You know, the love and just and the friendships I have. I choose to have a small circle of
yes.
friends who I've been with me since I was. My oldest friend is since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Yes, and we're still friends to
Wow.
this day, strongly. Sakai, and some other girlfriends and male friends that I have that are just, and my family, like I said, my family. I'm the youngest of my mother's 9 children, we just, you know, uh, try to bond with each other, and we do things together, and they just keep it real with me. I'm Nikita, I'm Kita, so ain't they very supportive. I'm on stage, I'm traveling, they, you know, follow my career, they come to shows, but at the end of the day, when I'm home, makeup off, that's Keita. I'm even Keita on the stage. As far as they know, I'm Keita on stage doing her thing, right? And I'm Keita at home. And so I love that, and I just feel, just you have to just be me. I tell people all the time, do you, because I'm gonna do me,
Yes.
and I just wanna, spread love and joy and stay positive and that positive mindset.
Hmm.
And that just helps make my day go, nicely, regardless of what I'm going through.
Yes.
I use that word strongly, choose to have a positive mindset, and that helps me stay grounded. You know that's really what helps me stay grounded. Family and friends, and trusting God.
Mm,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And Sakai.
Well, for me, um, growing up and, really wanting a career in music, there were things that I learned very early on that I was not going to do.
Mm,
So there were boundaries that I set very early in my life. And so if
Mm-hmm.
that meant me not having the success that the world deemed successful, then that was so be it, because success is not determined by what the
Right.
world deems successful. So I
yes.
learned
Right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then having really, it does take a village. For me, being able to, of course, my mom supported me. Once she got past me, singing all the time, and as a little kid, and then finally discovering, like, oh, she really can, do a few things here. She really supported me, and my immediate family, my grandmother, and then moving on, when I got a wonderful, amazing husband, who is also in the music business. Um, he has been my biggest supporter. Without him, I couldn't have gone on tour. My babies, our twins at the time, were very young. They were 4, and when we started with Train, and that was an ongoing thing. So, and we were tag teaming. He was holding it down, and I was able to, live my dreams out loud. And when I got home, listen, I'm off a plane or train, and I'm at a baseball game, or I'm at a soccer game, or I'm tired. We've flown from London, coming back to California,
Right.
and I'm exhausted. But that is a part of, what it
Mm-hmm.
takes,
Yes.
to keep your family happy,
Yeah.
to the sacrifices that come along with it, with our careers, no doubt. And when people say you can do it all, you can do that, yes, you can do it, but there are limits to how it all works and how the puzzle fits, because there are sacrifices also that you make,
Yeah.
with this career. But I've been truly blessed. Those little babies are now 18 and have been my biggest supporters. The Sometimes the 5 of them would, at some point, somebody was at a concert somewhere that
Mm,
I did. So it
nice.
was amazing to have that kind of love, and then to, with those sacrifices, because you get the mommy guilt along the way sometimes, but understanding that I'm showing them to live your dreams out loud. I'm showing them you can do this, you know, and them understanding, and they were happy. My husband, he was on top of it. You hear me? So
Uh,
they were healthy and happy. So that gave me the ability to move, to understand that, okay, this is what it takes, and we're going to make this work for us. So what was normal for us, that's how we roll.
mm,
Okay, that's how we made things work. Not what, oh, I don't see someone saying, oh, I don't see how, you leaving your kids this early and blah blah, all that stuff sometimes would come through. But I remembered my purpose, my plan, and it takes a lot. It takes effort, but I'm truly, truly amazed at the way that he has supported me and how we move together. And now we're working together to make all this happen. So we're
yes,
at a different place in our lives, and we're still doing it, still doing music. So,
fantastic, fantastic. And sort of winding down, I mean, we're just sort of starting tomorrow, the 1st of April, the second quarter of the year. What's in
Mhm.
store for Femmes Fatales?
Fatale.
mm-hmm.
Fatales.
Les,
Yeah,
les
le
femmes
femme
fatales.
fatale.
Les
Yeah.
Femmes
Mm-hmm.
Fatales.
Fatale.
There you
Fatale.
go.
There
Yes.
you go. Les femmes. The S is silent. Les femmes fatales.
Les Femmes Fatales.
Yes.
Perfect. Do you want to address that? What's in store? Our plans are?
Well, to just to build our fan base, our brand, um, to keep promoting our songs we putting out. We've already put out 5 singles. The latest one being "I Will Always Be," and to
Okay.
hopefully for come and visit you on your turf, and
Hello?
around the world, and introduce the world to La Femme Fatale. That's our goal, is to keep doing music, spreading the love and joy, and hopefully be able to, like I said, hit a lot of stages this year,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
moving
that's our
forward.
plan.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I guess the really last thing, because I can keep you guys on here for another half an hour, but what would you say to anyone who wants to live their dreams, who's maybe sitting on the sideline and sometimes you get caught in the chaos and the noise around you, right? But what
Hmm.
would you ladies say about just stepping into it faithfully,
Hmm.
purposely?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo.
Um, you want to go first, or go ahead, T?
Well,
Go ahead.
you Esther, you just said it so beautifully. You have to move with purpose. You step into those inklings of like daydreams, those things that move you, and those passions that you have. They're there for a reason. They've been given to you for a reason. You have to act on them. So we daydream, but then there's action that we have to take. Believe. There's
Yeah.
if you can see it, you can achieve it. You believe
Yes.
it, you can achieve
Yeah.
it. But it
That.
also takes action.
Yeah.
So do the things that you need to do to do what you do well, you know, um, with the intention of you know bringing something to life that the world needs. There's something in you that is so beautiful. Your dreams matter, and understanding that doesn't mean there won't be little bumps in the road, but you can't
Absolutely.
give up.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
would say that don't give up on your dreams. And it doesn't matter. Age ain't nothing but a number. We,
Absolutely.
Nikita and I live by that we breathe that. And that is why we're still doing what we do.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dreams are there for a reason. And so sometimes it's timing,
Yes.
it's timing. And so if
Absolutely.
you're right there, you're almost there, but you
Hmm.
give up, then
Hmm.
what happened? Then
Yeah.
the world doesn't get to participate in the gift that you can
Yeah.
give to make
Yeah.
somebody else's life better.
Right. And also, I think what's important, that you have to encourage yourself, because sometimes other people won't encourage you. They'll
Hmm.
try to discourage you. You can't expect people to, you know, be happy for you in what you're doing. So believe in yourself, believe what you're doing, trust and believe that God's will and what's for you will be for you. And nobody can block your blessings but you.
Absolutely.
And never, just don't give up. Just keep pushing, because like she said, it's timing.
Yes.
God's, Sakai and our saying is, God's delay is not his denial. And it's true. God's delay is not his denial, So, and again, I always say too, do you at the end of the day. Do you.
Yes. Unapologetically.
Unapologetically. Because trust and believe everybody else doing themselves.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Yes. And sometimes it is hard to do you in the midst of all that naysaying.
It is.
And don't be afraid to shine bright. That was one thing that I've learned. I was that person that would hold back. I don't want to, but the beauty of shining bright is that you are allowing someone else to see your light. You don't know how you're changing their lives,
And it's encouraging somebody. It is.
Yes, and you're encouraging somebody. So to love yourself, to adore yourself, to be good to yourself, that's love. That has nothing to do with
self-love.
That's self-love. It's not about being big-headed or this or something that is ugly in a way. Has an ugly light. It's not. You have to do that. Like Kita said, not everybody's going to understand your dream or love on you or love your dreams. You got to do that for yourself. So understanding that, especially as women, we need to understand that it's okay to love yourself and show up and light up a room because of who you are, what you bring. It's fine. Don't shun your light. Don't draw back, because it's there for a purpose and a reason.
It won't be. It's not always easy, but you can do it.
Do it. I know. I know. I mean, yes, we can have so many conversations around that. But I just want to say thank you so much to you, beautiful ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Esther. This has been so beautiful and so nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll be able to do that in person.
Oh, definitely. We'll make something work, and like you said, oftentimes it is about timing. And I had to learn 2 years ago, my middle name became Patience. I had to learn patience. Then last patience and balance. And then last year it was strategy. So patience and balance. Yeah. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say I've been talking to Nikita and Sakai from Les
Femmes Fatales. Les Femmes Fatales.
Les Femmes Fatales. Les Femmes Fatales.
And there's one thing we wanted to share with you before you go, just to make sure that people know that they can find everything about us on our website, which is lesfemmefatales.net. LESFEMMESFATALES.net. You can find all things Les Femmes Fatales about Sakai and Nikita. So our social media, our YouTube channel, all the stuff is right there.
Brilliant.
And thanking Skylar Jett too.
Skylar, yes,
Skylar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Skylar. Yes.
Ladies. Thank you, Skylar. Thank you. All right, bye-bye, ladies, and thank you so much for your time again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Esther. Take care.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thank you for watching.